And Melbourne is 1 p.m. Oh, okay.
Oh.
So we've got all laureates now.
Everyone's here.
Yeah.
We should start.
Okay, so just before we start.
But Shamila has a wrong name.
Again?
Shamila, but
Again?
the name is not Shamila.
Yes.
It's another name.
I'll rename her again.
I would love to be Maria Prieto.
It's another name.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Hello, Gonke. How are you?
It's not your
Hello,
fault.
I'm fine. I just sent a very important email to you about the typos we found from the current English version.
Okay, we will look at it. Promise.
Yeah. Please correct them.
Promise. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 1 past now. 1 past
Yes.
1 p.m. So I will start the streaming. The streaming on YouTube will be starting now too. Apparently, it's working now. So, Jorge, if you're ready as moderator, I will give you a countdown whenever you're ready. Please let me know.
You give me the sign to start the tail.
Yeah, I'll give you a countdown. Okay, as usual.
Okay.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear laureates, dear Assistant Director General of UNESCO, Dr. Shamila Nair Bedwell, dear WFEO President, Professor Gonke, dear WFEO Past President, Dr. Marlene Kanga, dear members of International Jury and members of the GREE Award Committee, special guests, distinguished participants, dear ladies and gentlemen. My name is José Vieira. I am the WFEO President-elect, and it is my privilege and honor to welcome you and to invite all of you to join us in the WFEO GREE Women in Engineering 2020 Award Laureate announcement and award ceremony. WFEO, the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, the peak international body for engineering institutions, is proud to promote diversity, inclusion, and gender equality in engineering. The WFEO GREE Women in Engineering Award was first announced during WFEO's 50th anniversary celebration at UNESCO headquarters in Paris in March 2018 with its sponsor, GREE Electric Appliance. This is the first global award to acknowledge and give visibility to outstanding women engineers for their professional excellence and contribution to engineering for the good of people and planet, and it is awarded every year. In this very ceremony, we have 4 moments. The first one, we'll have some opening remarks by the president of WFEO, Professor Gonke, and the Assistant Director General of UNESCO, Dr. Shamila Nair Bedwell. Afterwards, we have the announcement of the 2020 awards laureate. Afterwards, the announcement of the 2024 highly commended entries. And afterwards, a 4th moment for closing remarks. So it's my privilege, as I said, to welcome all of you, and I will give the floor for the president of WFEO, Professor Gonke.
Thank you very much, Professor Vieira. Dear colleagues, dear friends, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to this GREE WFEO Women in Engineering Award Ceremony 2020. Actually, we celebrate the 2020 awardees. At first, please allow me to stress again the importance of this award. This award was established in the year 2018 when the World Federation of Engineering Organizations celebrates its 50 years anniversary at the Unesco headquarters. We are very grateful to our sponsor, GREE Electric Appliances, for their kind help to establish this Women in Engineering Award, to acknowledge and give visibility to outstanding women engineers for their professional excellence and contribution to engineering for the good of people and planet. Today, we meet online at such a time of immense challenges posed by the pandemic and other uncertainties, where there are rising inequalities within and among countries. Amid enormous disparities in the world, gender inequality remains a key challenge in particular. As the peak international body for engineering institutions, WFEO has always been committed to promoting diversity, inclusion, and gender equality in engineering. However, the shortage of female engineers in the profession is preventing its healthy development. Thus, this award is set to encourage more young girls to make engineering a career choice with the inspiration of eminent female engineers like the awardees we are going to announce today. I express our sincere thanks to our sponsor, GREE Electronic Appliances again for their support and commitment in this essentially important course. Second, I would like to give my heartfelt congratulations to Professor Elvira Fortunato, the laureate of this year. Elvira has led breakthrough research in nanomaterials, microelectronics, and material engineering. She pioneered research on transparent electronics, demonstrating the oxide material can be used as a true semiconductors with rich applications. I'm eager to hear from her about her work briefly later today. I would also like to congratulate the awardees of the highly commended entries for their important works and contributions. You have demonstrated the creativity, ingenuity, and excellence of female engineers in technology and engineering innovations. You're not only role models and engineering leaders for women, but also for all male and female engineers. It is highlighted in the 2030 United Nations Sustainable Development Agenda that realizing gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls will make a crucial contribution to progress across all the goals and targets. The achievement of full human potential and of sustainable development is not possible if one half of the humanity continues to be denied its full human rights and opportunities. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, also commented during the recent World Engineering Day last month Here I quote his Twitter. He said, "As a trained engineer, I'm passionate about the potential of engineering to help solve the most pressing challenges facing our world. But to truly maximize that potential, we must ensure women and girls have equal opportunities and representation in this field." The World Federation of Engineering Organizations highly values gender equality in engineering and works on improving engineering education and enhancing engineering capacity building for women through our Committee of Women in Engineering, one of the most important policy implementation committee of WFEO. I would like to call on all governments, professional engineering institutions, universities, and private sectors to work collectively to close the gender gap in engineering, remove educational and educational barriers, ensure women's engagement, retention, leadership, growth, and desire to stay in the profession, and to truly transform the engineering profession to one that female engineers share equal representation and opportunities. Let's work together to accelerate the delivery on the SDGs by innovative engineering. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Gonke. Now our program will continue with the Assistant Director General of UNESCO for Natural Sciences, Dr. Nair, Shamila Nair Bedwell. Shamila, is for us a privilege to have you here in this ceremony. Your presence is always very appreciated in our community of WFEO. And I remind especially our relationships, WFEO and UNESCO, in celebrating the Engineering Day last 4th of March and the launching of the Engineer Report of UNESCO. Thank you very much for your presence. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Vieira, and dear colleagues, past presidents, current presidents, President-elect, Professor Gonke. I would like to congratulate all of you today, and especially the jury and the laureates. On behalf of UNESCO, it gives me great pleasure to address you today on this auspicious occasion of recognizing women engineers and especially their role in society today. I would like to congratulate everybody, but I also particularly want to thank GREE Electric as well as WFEO for bringing forth this important award ceremony and recognizing women leaders who provide solutions to societal problems, women leaders who have broken the glass ceiling to rise above society and to demonstrate, yes, we can. I have worked in the past with GREE Electric under a different mandate of promoting women engineers in the refrigeration, air conditioning environment, which is so important today for the world, especially when one looks at the COVID and the role for refrigeration, air conditioning, and appliances. So therefore, GREE, I sincerely thank you on behalf of UNESCO for teaming up with WFEO and bringing forth this important prize and award today. Dear colleagues, today the world is plagued with a pandemic which has changed people's lives, ways of living, but a pandemic which has demonstrated that science, engineering, and technology hold important answers to key questions that we must address today. Not just equitable, inclusive growth, climate change, sustainable energy for all, international cooperation for peace and sustainable development, but also engineering as a means and a lever to ensure that no one is left behind. Science and engineering has always had an essential role in achieving the mandates and the global priorities of UNESCO. Today, two global priorities of UNESCO are gender and Africa, and therefore UNESCO is delighted to join in this auspicious awards ceremony in recognizing the role of women as new sources of dynamism to eradicate poverty and to build and contribute towards a sustainable future for lasting peace in the world. It is possible, and women are demonstrating that they are capable of changing the world and contributing to the benefit of and progress of all societies today. We have seen the role for science, engineering, mathematics education for women and men as being essential for the improvement of societies. The SDGs focus on the eradication of poverty, infrastructure development, education, but also achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls, among other critical social, economic, and environmental areas. However, dear colleagues, I believe that today we need to look to the future. And looking to the future, we have to design our present where all people, women, girls, boys, participate in creating and sharing knowledge and innovation. Hence, this GREE WFEO award is so crucial today because we will notice new approaches to how engineering can be useful to solving societal problems. We also experience that women can be trained in engineering and the sciences, and they can take leadership roles. We also will see today from the laureates that we need a more integrated science and engineering disciplines, which are transdisciplinary, transboundary, allowing engineers and scientists from across the world to work together on global solutions. We do need to focus on the interdisciplinary nature of the sciences and how the application of engineering to solving the world's problems is critical today more than ever. We do believe at UNESCO that now is the time for change, and we are delighted to join in this important event to promote women engineers across the world. On behalf of the Director General of UNESCO, I would like to sincerely congratulate the outstanding laureates of this award, and I would like to send to them a special message, my special message and the message of UNESCO. Dear laureates, across the world is watching. Every child, girl and boy, is looking forward to how you will continue the chain of engineers, to how you are going to empower other women to follow in your footsteps. While you've been awarded these auspicious awards today for your creativity, for your ingenuity, for your contribution to societal problems, please don't forget how important it is to continue the chain of knowledge and to ensure that no one is left behind. For that to happen, we need to continue the capacity building, the training. We need to continue investing in our engineers and the future engineers, just as a society has invested in you as the awardees of today. So dear awardees, as you go out and carry the flame of women engineers and leadership, please do not forget the number of children across the world who are looking to you for new solutions to societal problems. The pandemic has raised the role of engineering for all in society, whether it is the simple water, access to safe food, access to health technologies, and smarter cities. You hold the solutions in your hands. So encourage other women to follow in your footsteps and continue the chain of women engineers, the networks and platforms to ensure that no one is left behind. SDG 5 calls for gender parity, gender equality. You can make that possible by promoting women engineers across the world, since you will now have the responsibility on your shoulders to continue the chain of women engineers so that they bring together solutions for societal problems in the world today. Our sincere congratulations to all of you, the outstanding awardees, for your outstanding work in the engineering discipline. Our congratulations to WFEO and to GREE for enabling such an important event to take place. Thank you once again, and UNESCO is delighted to join in the ceremony today and send you sincere congratulations from the UNESCO family for your outstanding work. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Many thanks, many thanks to you, Dr. Shamila, for your wonderful and inspiring words. Many thanks. Thank you. Now we will start our second moment of this ceremony. It's the announcement of the 2020 award laureates. And for that, I will introduce Maria Prieto Lafarge. She was the first woman president of WFEO in 2011. And in this case, she is doing the share of this 2020 award international jury for the 2020 laureate announcement. Please, Maria, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President. From Madrid, Spain, my deepest gratitude and congratulations to all of you for making possible this global and relevant event. Today is a very special day. The World Federation of Engineering Organization awards its second edition of the Global GREE Women in Engineering Award, instituted by its standing technical committee, Women in Engineering. Let me have a few words of appreciation for past President Barry Greer, under whose presidency the Standing Technical Committee was created. I remember fondly the year 2007. Immediately, I was elected as WFEO president-elect in New Delhi. Barry and I started long discussions about the suitability of promoting the implementation of one new standing technical committee, Women in Engineering. We devised it with a total different approach from the women standard one. We did it. And in the year 2007, the Standing Technical Committee began to be operational. The aim was to facilitate women engineers to share the knowledge across all the engineering disciplines and to attract more women to the engineering profession. We were convinced that to facilitate women the access to the power of the technology and to create women capacity building in engineering was, and it is today, the best way to empower women. Marie-Hélène from France was our first chairwoman. And since then, the Women in Engineering Standing Technical Committee Action Plan has been a succession of tasks well done. One of these is the outstanding world-class GREE Award made possible for the generosity of the company GREE Electrical Appliance. This second 2020 award was launched last December 8th and closed in February 15th. As chair of the international jury member, I my truly appreciation to each one of its members, Peggy, Blair, Jose, Anya, for their hard and sustained work. For almost 2 years, 2 months 2 months from now, the jury, and very, very special, Anya Lopez, a chair of the WFEO Award Committee, read, checked, scrutinized every detail, every piece, every bit of information of the candidate curricula. And not only the 2020 nominees, but those of the year 2019, as the WFEO Executive Council decided to be considered as well in this occasion. As conclusion, after a rigorous qualification procedures with suitable metrics, the chosen candidate is Mrs. Elvira Fortunato, plus, by mutual agreement, 4 women with special merits, extending this important world-class award on a multi-continental level. Elvira, congratulations. Well, her sheet of merits, her curricula is impressive, it's amazing. Let me, right now, just to strengthen only those aspects in accordance with the set of work criteria. Elvira, engineer, PhD in microelectronic, optoelectronic, doctor honoris causa by the Galati University, Romania, is Vice Chancellor of one of the most prestigious Portuguese universities, La Universidad Nova de Lisboa. Professor, Elvira pioneered European research in the field of transparent electronic, paper electronic, with a prestigious, widely recognized academic and research career. Elvira is a recognized international leader in industrial innovation. She features more than 50 patents granted. In collaboration with industrial leaders as Samsung, Merck, Saint-Gobain, among others, Elvira has got many common patents as well. With an astonishing international activity in the field of nanoscience, nanotechnology, biotechnology, new materials, Elvira has published hundreds of papers, and she has been awarded with the top well-regarded awards by governments and institutions. But Elvira is generous, altruist. Elvira is concerned with the environment and the society around her. And her efforts and worries for the others have been recognized by the international non-profit organization, Rotary Club. I conclude, Elvira Fortunato is a woman. Elvira, the floor is yours. Okay.
Thank you very much for your kind words. So I just will start sharing my screen. Is visible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just before start, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear distinguished guests. First of all, I would like to thank the WFEO in the name of Gongqi, the actual president, and GREE, the electric appliances from China, in the name of Dong Mingzhu, the chairwoman, and in particular the chairwoman of the international jury, Maria Prieto Lafarge. At last, but not least, I'm deeply grateful to Ordem dos Engenheiros, the Portuguese Association of Engineers, in the name of the President, Carlos Mineiro Aires, for proposing me for this very prestigious award. I also would like to acknowledge to the WFEO to promote diversity, inclusion, and gender equality in engineering. The award recognizes women engineers who have shown professional excellence and impact in their work, role models and leaders in their field. also according to the Sustainable Development Goal number 5 related to gender equality. I'm very honored and very proud for receiving this international award and enormous privilege, and I'm grateful for being here now and have the possibility to share with you the work I'm doing at Nova University in Portugal. We believe that the pandemic times we are facing now will create new and strong opportunities, in particular related to science and engineering. The world needs more science, and the engineering needs more women. And now, in the following minutes, I will drive you to the fantastic world of transparent electronics. So, just to start, what is transparent electronics? It's very easy. It's the combination of optical transparency with electrical conductivity. As you know, metals, they have a very high electrical conductivity, but they are opaque, they are not transparent. Glasses from windows, they are transparent, but they are insulating. So, if you remember one of the movies launched by Steven Spielberg in 2004, The Minority Report, where Tom Cruise manipulates all this type of information across windows with displays at that time in 2004, this was science fiction, but now is reality. This is one of our examples where this is a simple piece of glass with a coating, a transparent and conducting coating based on oxide, metallic oxide materials, and we have the logo of our university. And also just for you to have an idea where we can use this type of materials or transparent electronics, of course, the major application is for displays. And for example, in these pictures, this is the Vatican Place in 2005 for the election of the Pope Benedict, and in 2013 for the last Pope, Francis. You can see the number of lights in the picture below. And these lights are not candles. They are mobiles, they are mobile phones, they are iPads. And also here in a very short period of time, you can see the importance, and you can realize how important are displays in our society. And for example, this is just a brief overview about the computer era and also the displays. We start in 90s from a transition from analog to digital. After that, in 2000s, around 2000s, from feature displays to smart displays. And now, and also in the near future, we are surrounded by these new opportunities, big data, flexible devices, touch screens, wearables, and so on. And for all these type of applications, we need to have an interface. And the best interface is a touch screen or a display. And also, this is also an example from Stuttgart, the tourism region from Stuttgart, where instead of using posters and paper, we have, or roll-ups, we have a window, we have a wall that has a lot of, in that case, interactive displays. And also we have nowadays available flexible displays. Imagine we can have in our houses a flexible television, and if we don't have enough space, or we want to move the television from another side, by using these flexible materials, we can use this type of applications. Also, this is a picture from Incheon Airport in South Korea, where besides all the numbers of displays around us, also we are using curved displays. So today, this is a reality. And also, if we take a look about the evolution of mobile phones, for example, the first mobiles, the displays were too small, and nowadays we have large displays, and also we can see that the size of our mobiles, its function to the size of the display we have in the mobile. And also maybe in the future, in the next years, we can have in ours, in all the surfaces we have around us, windows and also other vitreous surfaces, it's possible to embed a lot of electronics because the materials and the transistors and the electronics we are doing is transparent. And also this is an example of a display, a transparent display, and for example, imagine in a shopping center, we can have all the facades, all the windows with embedded electronics because this is transparent. And also maybe in the future, we can have, for example, this is not yet real, it is fiction, but we can put a lot of information, for example, in the transport in a bus. And how is that possible? Because we are using metal oxide semiconductors. In fact, we are in the presence of a new class of electronic materials. We are not using the conventional ones based on silicon or germanium. We are working with copper oxide, with zinc oxide, with gallium oxide, with tin oxide. And besides that, we can combine all these type of materials and exploit simultaneously more than one property because they are different. And these materials are, they are around us. For example, zinc oxide is also used as a sun protector in a cream because this type of material works like a filter to the UV radiation. And is that why we are using this type of zinc oxide and this type of material as a filter on top to protect our screen. And these materials, they present several advantages, especially a low cost. They are biocompatible, they are recyclable, the technology is green, is non-pollutant, and at the end, they present superior electrical performances. And of course, we are fully aligned with the actual sustainable development goals, but not only after 2015. We have all these goals in our group since the beginning of our research group. In terms of applications, they are several. Of course, the first ones are related to the use on displays, but since we are dealing with semiconductors, we can use in all the electronics we want. And just in this picture, we have just some of the areas where we can use, and some of them they are already using this type of materials and this type of technology. Due to the work we had with Samsung related to displays, we filed some years ago a patent with them. And also this is just an example how they look like. For example, this is a prototype of some integrated circuits using this type of materials made at Nova University in Portugal. And also this is a closed loop of this type of electronic integrated circuits. And also last year, I applied for the European Research and Innovation Award. This is an award given by the European Commission to projects that they have impact in society. And in fact, one of the first projects that I applied using transparent electronics was ERC, an advanced grant that I received in 2008. And I applied this project to this award, and I got it at an European level last year, also related to transparent electronics. And of course, this is not a single work, this is a teamwork. And at the end, I would like to acknowledge all the work of our team, because as I mentioned, this is a teamwork. Maybe I am the face, but without colleagues and without a team, we cannot succeed. And just to finish, we enjoy very much this African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. and we prefer to go together and also together with you. Thank you very much, and again, for this prestigious prize. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Elvira Fortunato, for your exciting words about the future of the recent past. Congratulations for the award as well. Thank you very much. Well, our ceremony will proceed now with the announcement of the 2024 highly commended prizes. And for that, I will introduce Anya Lopez. Anya Lopez is member of the WFEO Executive Council and is also the chair of the WFEO Awards Committee. Anya, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a big honor for me today is all together. I am in the component member of the Consiglio Nazionale Ingegneri to Italy. This is only women in the council. This is very important for me today. Talk about these awards for all women in WFEO. This is a lot of time I in a standard technical committee of women and work together for all activity. This is very, very important. I could like to say congratulations to Elvira Fortunato on behalf of WFEO Awards Committee. Thank you so much for your presentation, for your work with a professor and with a research, very, very important. I could like say that the Awards Committee is a board committee of WFEO responsible for overseeing all of WFEO awards. The committee, awards committee, under to the board authority has agreed to delegate the judging process to independent jury for all awards to engage transparency and the level of expertise. This is introduced the first time. This is very, very important. I would like also to underline the work done by the WFEO Secretariat to Jack and Theophan and Ivan. I support me in all activity and support and the executive and the jury and all components. This is very, very important. I think that the precise and professional in the success for each phase of the awards. Thank you so much for our committee, the component to Costa Rica, China, and other component for the future event and UNESCO. Peggy, this is a support of the jury, international jury. I would like to express the international jury for this 2020 GREE WFEO Awards. In addition to the most remarkable nominee, Elvira Fortunato, expressed the wish highlight the achievement for 4 more nominates, which has been highly regarded by all members of the jury. I would like to introduce very quickly these all colleagues. Mrs. Harriet Amisant Arthur for Ghana, Magali Anderson for French, Rosaline Archer from New Zealand, and Sabah Micheli from Egypt. This is a congratulations for your job, for your contribution. Thank you so much. This is a very important for WFEO, for all women engineers in the world. You are experienced women. You are a role model for all women. Thank you so much. I would like to conclude, finally, I would like to conclude that the goal is to ensure that this award of WFEO award can become global recognition in the different field of engineering and can also have female engineer in the such as engineering by men. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya, for your words. And now I will give the floor to these 4 highly commended laureates in alphabetic order. And the first speaker will be Ariette Amissa. She is an experienced electric engineer from Ghana, co-founder and partner in a consulting company. She has held important positions in national corporation and authorities in the energy sector and conducted many projects, including power plants building and management, including 18-year service at the Volta River Authority. Please, Ariette Amissa, the floor is yours.
So a very good afternoon to you all, good day to everybody. I'd like to thank WFEO for this recognition. I'd like to especially thank my Women in Engineering group in Ghana, who nominated me for this award. Over the past 39 years, I have worked in various institutions. The first 18 years of my career was spent in a power utility that was at the time vertically integrated. So it took care of the generation, transmission, as well as the distribution functions in Ghana. Now, after 18 years of work, I went into the development world to do some work with communities. My work with the Kumasi Institute of Technology and Environment really offered me an opportunity to travel communities, rural communities in my own country, Ghana, that I had never traveled before. It also offered me the opportunities to see other parts of West Africa, many rural communities and a lot of deprived urban communities, where the commodity we in the urban centers had taken for granted was non-existent. And I'm talking about basic electricity. Across the West Africa sub-region, the average access to electricity is still around about 30%. In Ghana, we're fortunate to have it at about 84%. And yet, even in the parts of the sub-region where electricity is available, the service delivery, the quality of the electricity is bad. Today, I've already had my fair share of the power going off. So that should tell you some of the things we're dealing with in the region. In traveling to some of those rural communities and seeing how hard the people worked, especially the women and children, how they traveled long distances to go and fetch water, how they traveled to go and process basic things like their daily food, made their work extremely hard. And seeing that they did all this work, they farmed for the entire nations, and yet the returns from their labor was so small, really had an impact on me, especially because I knew that with the provision of electricity, we could really improve a lot of these people. They could improve their livelihoods and even go on to contribute to their national economies. I walked away from these communities every time, wanting to do what I can to help our country and our region actually begin to enjoy reliable, competitively priced electricity. So in my work in KITE, I did quite a few projects looking at providing energy services to these ladies so that in one place, working on the multifunctional platforms, for instance, where we provided energy sources and these women could process their food. In some of the cases, they could actually even use it to bring potable water to their communities. And I really went back some of those days to see how the women were really enjoying this facility. Very little effort on our part, and we got it done. After I led the development work, doing work for about 9 years, I moved into consulting, where I'm currently working. And even though I'm no longer doing direct development work in my consulting, I have not forgotten these women, because I can still see their faces and how with the provision of electricity, their lot was bettered and their lives changed. So even as I consult on big projects, like trying to develop innovative projects like LNG projects for my country, my firm was involved in actually designing the first boat-to-boat LNG transfer. So many other things we've done, helping develop big projects like 340 megawatts combined cycle plants and so forth. We've also looked at the areas of renewable energy. We've done wind assessments to see their viability in our country. We've looked extensively at solar and its application in our country. And in that sense, we had developed the West African roadmap for the West African solar corridor and went on to start supporting some of the countries in the sub-region to prepare projects to be able to benefit from it. I would say that we continue to be committed to seeing how best we can contribute as a firm to help deliver reliable and competitively priced electricity to all citizens of our sub-region so that they can better their lot and they can also contribute to our economies. West Africa is home to about 300 million inhabitants. And sometimes if you imagine that we can empower all these people, that they participate in our economies, that would be a large market that people will want to engage with us in business. So that's what I look forward to. So with this award, I kind of feel extremely encouraged that some of the work we're trying to do in these parts of the world are being recognized, and it will go to empower other lady engineers to also, they're already contributing a lot, but then this award goes to tell them that there's a lot more they can do, and then the world is watching and will recognize them when they put in some work. So I really am grateful for this recognition. And as I take it, I would like to dedicate the award to my two mothers, Mrs. Gloria Date and my Mrs. Efi Emisata, who are in their 90s and yet continue to contribute to our society. I'd also like to dedicate it to my women in engineering Ghana, who so encourage me every time, because they're doing so much more than we did in our earlier days, to make our countries a better place. Lastly, but not the least, I'd like to thank my family, because what we have as a consulting firm is a family practice. So I'd like to thank my husband and my two sons who have worked tirelessly to bring our firm where it is, and we can see them taking it even much further. I lastly, again, want to thank the WFEO for the recognition they've given me. And I want to encourage them to continue to recognize even more women, because I know there are a lot more doing work there. I'd like to congratulate the award winner for today's event. And I also like to thank my colleagues, the other three who were recognized, so that and congratulate them for the award and encourage all of us to continue to work hard towards making our countries, our regions, and our world a much better and fairer place. Thank you all very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ariet Amisa, for your brilliant words, and congratulations for your award as well. Well, I will give the floor now to Magali Anderson, a French citizen. She is Chief Sustainability and Innovation Officer and member of the Executive Council of the Lafarge Holcim Cement Group and CEO of Lafarge SA. She has a long experience of oil field engineering in various countries, mainly with the Schlumberger Group. Please, Magali, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jose. And first of all, I would like to really thank WFE GREE Women in Engineering Award for this nomination to be part of the highly commended entries as great honor. I want also to thank Ingénieurs et Scientifiques de France to put forward my nomination. And I would like to congratulate the other highly commended entry and of course, particularly Professor Elvira Fortunato for the brilliant presentation you made, but also for the award. I just want to give you a little bit of history of myself. So I graduated from INSA Lyon as a mechanical engineer 32 years ago. As you can imagine, at the time, there was not that many women, even though INSA Lyon is actually quite good in terms of gender diversity. They are not very far from being at parity in the entries this year. And it was the start of me learning to be alone, if I can say. Right after graduation, I went to Nigeria as the field engineer working on an offshore drilling rig. And again, as you can imagine, very first woman to do that, at least in that country. They had never seen a woman coming to a rig before, so you can guess how it went. But I think what was even harder was the fact that when I was going back home, at the time, for people old enough to remember, we did not have international phones, we did not have internet, so I did not have ways to communicate with girlfriends, and I didn't have in the guest house so many friends. So it was one of those where you say, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Obviously, it didn't kill me, and I think it made me very strong for the rest of my career. I spent the next 27 years still, like you said, in the oil and gas industry, moving from business type of role. I was, for example, a general manager for Europe, general manager for Angola, to more technical roles, such as I was the group VP maintenance. I had several manufacturing roles, including the one of managing our manufacturing hub in China, Shanghai. So it was really a mix of those, but I could always remember the start, and I was still in this industry, which remains very male dominated. So I wrote a book called La Pétroleuse, which is with the intent to try to help women who, in my situation, to share my lessons with them. Since it has become a blog, so for the French people, I blog for Usine Nouvelle, but I also blog in English. And it's a blog called Women in the Industry, where basically what I try to write is what I would have needed to be told when the young Magali 30 years ago would have liked to learn, and not to learn it the hard way by herself. That was actually, and what's amazing is I connect with a lot of younger women, and what I see, their challenges today are not very different from the ones I had 30 years ago, which is somehow quite sad. But events like today, I hope will make a difference. Anyway, now I will make a big jump in time. And I started with Lafarge 4 years ago. And 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, actually, I was named Chief Sustainability Officer. And I think my past allowed me to, this mix of technical but business allowed me to really move things. And I guess being a woman actually made a difference as well. But so what we announced during the New York Climate Week 6 months ago, our net zero pledge with science-based target, with target for 2030 validated by Science-Based Target Initiative. Again, very important as an engineer that everything we do has to be science-based, rigorous, valid, you know, the exact contrary of all the greenwashing you hear about all these environmental targets of the day. So we were the first one in the industry to do that. And my goal today is to bring the entire industry with us, because it's not just the matter of being a good company, it's a matter of everybody. So I co-chair the Global Concrete and Cement Association work on our 2050 roadmap. I also co-chair the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, WBCSD, built environment work. And finally, I'm part of the advisory board of Business for Nature and World Green Building Council, sorry. This is key, because the whole idea is let's do it all together. It's not a matter of me or Lafarge Holcim, it's a matter of everybody. And we have so a lot on climate, and I was very happy to hear it mentioned so much by Professor Gonki in the opening and also by Shamila and Nair Bedwell. I think it's so important. I am also in charge of the societal part of the company, but I won't expand on it here today because that would take way too much. And I don't want to forget biodiversity water. So basically, I am part of these people who try to make a world that works better for people and the planet. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Magali, for your brilliant words, and congratulations for your award as well. I will give the floor now to Rosalind Archer. Rosalind is a New Zealand reservoir engineer, an academic leader with a specialization on computational earth science, and a company director. She is about to step up as president of Engineering New Zealand. So, Rosalind, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I have a few slides that I will just start to share.
Yeah.
Hopefully those slides are showing. So it is really an honor to be part of this ceremony, and I would really like to thank everybody from WFEO and GREE Electrical who has made it possible, and very much like to humbly acknowledge Elvira and the other winners. It's a privilege to be part of this group. So I am based in New Zealand at the University of Auckland, and I have just become president of Engineering New Zealand, and it was Engineering New Zealand who nominated me for this award. So by way of a very brief introduction, I'm fortunate to have had a global career from New Zealand. I grew up with an interest in the oil industry. Our local oil industry is just off the coast of my hometown. I studied first of all in Auckland and then did a PhD at Stanford University in California, which was rather magical. Moved to Texas A&M University to teach, and then found my way back home to New Zealand. So this bottom panel is a picture of our clean, green, wonderful countryside in New Zealand, and that's land and countryside that's very important to me to preserve. So these days, I take a lot of my time really investing in the question of people and planet through my teaching at the university. So that includes everything from first year engineering students, where I'm leading a brand new class which introduces all engineers to both energy and to society as a mechanism to get engineers thinking about their role in society, thinking about creativity, thinking about some of the sort of grand challenges involved in getting cleaner energy for the world. The shot I've got on screen at the moment is from a group of master's students from a master's program I lead in energy, which is an interdisciplinary program linking science, business, and engineering together to try and push forward solutions. And this group are very international. This is me farewelling them from New Zealand after our COVID lockdown in last year. So we miss our international students a lot. But our international work continues online. Here I've got a slide that talks about our international outreach in energy. I have the good fortune to work with a large team, and my team do a lot of international aid work as well as our traditional education work. So we get government funding, corporate funding to train engineers all over the world. And in 2019, we reached 25 different countries with our training projects through East Africa, through Asia, and through the Pacific. So I also spend a great deal of my time in governance and leadership. I'm privileged to be the first female to become a department head of engineering at the University of Auckland, and I'm currently acting deputy dean. I have a governance role in the corporate sector in an oil company, which has a market capitalization of over 100 million New Zealand dollars. And then finally, I have just become president of Engineering New Zealand, which is a professional home for over 22,000 New Zealand engineers and engineering students. And I'm only the third woman to do that in 108 years. So that is a real honor and a privilege. So thank you all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Rosalind, for your brilliant words, and congratulations for your award as well. Now I will give the floor to Sabat Micheli. She is an Egyptian electrical engineer with more than 30 years of technical and leadership experience in the utility sector. In 2019, she was appointed as chairwoman and managing director of the Egyptian Electrical Transmission Company with 33,000 of employees. Sabat Micheli, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. First of all, I would like to express my sincere honor and appreciation for being a part of this great event and ceremony. On this regard, I would like, on behalf of all women engineers in the world, to thank the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, jury members, Unesco officers, representatives of green electric appliances, and donors of the award. Also, I would like to express my sincerely thanks of the Egyptian Engineering Syndicate for nominating me for this valuable award, for their support and efforts, for giving me this honor and opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Mohammed Micheli, electrical engineer. I am the CEO and the managing director of the Egyptian Electricity Transmission Company, which manage over than 33,000 employees and more than 10 billion US dollar as an annual budget. Our company is the sole company responsible for the transmission of the electricity in Egypt and some our neighbor Arab countries. And thanks God, I am the first woman to be appointed as the CEO of this great company since 2001. I graduated from Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University in 1986, and I got a master from Nair Academy for Leadership in 2001. I got my MBA from Harvard Business School in 2003. I have more than 30 years of technical and leadership experience in the utility sector in Egypt. Over the course of my career, I held several managerial positions in the electricity sector in Egypt. In 2002, I was appointed as the Electricity Minister's Assistant, where I created a new department to oversee the performance of the entire sector and recommend and implement the performance strategic goals and objectives. I played a great role in achieving Egypt's advancement in the electricity sector to overcome the sector's crisis during 2013 and 2014, as there were a lot of load shedding and electricity cuts that cover most of the country at this time. Thanks God, currently we have got more than 30% as a reserve margin. I was appointed as a board member of several companies and authorities in Egypt. In light of this experience, I participated in the implementation of several Egyptian interconnection projects with our neighbor countries. I am a board member of the High Council of Egyptian Engineers Syndicate since 2018 and up till now. Also, I am a board member of Arab Women Engineers Committee and I am the chair of the Egyptian Women Engineers Committee as well. I have been selected as one of the top 50 most influential women in the Egyptian society for growing the economy for year 2018. In 2020, I have been selected as a Mediterranean Transmission System Operator METI-SO Vice President for a course of 3 years. Also, I am a secretary member of the National World Energy Council WEC in Egypt, senior member of the Egyptian GREE, who in charge of assuring the implementation of the GREE recommendation in the electricity sector. Senior member as well of the International Electric Technical Commission, IEC, and senior member of the Egyptian National Conference of Electricity Distribution, CERED. In 2014 up to 2019, I represented Egypt and North Africa in the African Standardization Electrotechnical Commission, AFSEC. Also, I am one of the authors and co-authors of several papers in the field of smart grid and renewable energy. Some of them are already published in the IEEE magazine. Finally, I am proud to be one of a very special engineering family. My husband is an engineer. My 2 sons are also engineers, and their wives are also engineers as well. So we are a very special engineering family. Thank you again for all of you. I congratulate my colleague Elevra for this very unique prize. Also, I congratulate my 3 commended, highly nominated awardees. And for all of you, I pray to be safe and healthy. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Sabah Micheli, for your words, and congratulations for your award. Now we have just concluded our presentations of our awardees, and before the closing remarks, I want to thank to the international jury and the award committee of WFEO for this work, very good work, and give my congratulations to the 2020 award laureate, Elvira Fortunato, and the 4 highly commended laureates, Arietta Misa, Magali Anderson, Rosalind Archer, and Sabah Micheli. It was my privilege to moderate this simple but very, very and highly significant ceremony. Just represents the commitment of WFEO in giving visibility to outstanding women in engineering, working for the benefit of humankind and the planet. So it was my privilege to moderate this your session. Now, I will give the floor for closing remarks to Marlene Kanga. She is our past president. She was president from 2017 to 2019. And we can consider Marlene as the mother of this award. So Marlene, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jose. It is a this is a very exciting event tonight, and I'm so pleased to be part of it. And once again, I want to congratulate Elvira Fortunato and all the highly commended winners, Harriet Amasa from Ghana, Magali Anderson from France, Rosalind Archer from New Zealand, and Sabah Micheli from Egypt. I cannot express enough how delighted we are and to have you here tonight and have you so recognized. This evening is a first on many fronts. Firstly, I have to say that we as women are in a majority in the panel tonight. something very unusual, and I cannot recall this happening before. So this is a first. Secondly, we have two of our female presidents of WFEO in the one event. And I welcome Maria Lafarge as chair of the jury, and also a role model for me, and inspired me to stand up and think about being president. So I thank you for that. And it just shows how each of us as leaders show the way for others. So it's wonderful to have, I think, this most unusual and special way of two female leaders of WFEO in the one event. And I will also want to congratulate Anya Lopez as chair of the award committee. In fact, the first woman to chair a board committee of WFEO. So congratulations and well done. And another first, of course, is that we had Unesco here to help us hand out the award and acknowledge the award. This is also a first, and I want to thank Dr. Peggy O.T. Boating, Director of the Capacity Building Section, Natural Sciences Sector, who was part of the judging committee and agreed to do so very promptly when she was asked to. And I also want to thank Ms. Shamila Nair, the Assistant Director General of Natural Sciences Sector, for being here. Both were first for WFEO as well. Importantly, I want to thank Madam Dongming Zhu, the founder and CEO and chairman of GREE Electrical Appliances, one of the largest white goods manufacturers in the world, and a significant leader, entrepreneur, and engineer herself. She was unable to be with us tonight, but we want to acknowledge her. And I'm so grateful that she shared our vision on the importance of recognizing the contributions of women engineers and leaders, and agreed to support this award when it was inaugurated during my term as president of WFEO in 2018, during our 50th anniversary celebrations. And I'm so pleased to say that since 2018, this award has grown in recognition. The number of applications have in fact doubled each year. In fact, more than doubled. And the standard of those applying has also increased, demonstrating the increasing importance of this award. For the 2020 award, we received the highest number of applications ever received for any other WFEO award in the last 50 years. This is a phenomenal achievement. And the quality and standard was extremely high, showing that women are making a significant contribution to engineering around the world. And we've heard that tonight, with the presentations that have been made by the award winners. And it's these efforts that need to be recognized, and for these women to encourage young women and other girls to consider engineering as a rewarding career. This award is in fact another step forward for women engineers at the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. Past President Maria Lafarge made mention of the founding of the Women in Engineering Committee in 2007. But since that time, we have moved on and upwards. For example, prior to December 2017, there had never been a woman engineer as a speaker as a keynote speaker at a WFEO annual conference. We changed that in December 2017, and today about 25% of our speakers, keynote speakers, other speakers, chairs of sessions, and panelists are women engineers. And this is extremely important to publicly showcase the achievements and capabilities of women engineers to our global audience. And when I was elected to the Executive Council, I was not a member of any committee. So as president, I set about to change that, to ensure that every board committee had diverse membership, not just women, but membership from every region of the world, so that every region had an opportunity to make a contribution to WFEO. This is extremely important. And of course, we have 2 women chairs of our standing technical committee, and Anya Lopez is chairing a board committee. However, we need many more women in the pipeline for leadership at WFEO. And also, these changes are very fragile and could easily be demolished. More needs to be done to increase the participation of women in leadership, not just at WFEO, but among our members, our national and international members. As a peak body for engineering, representing nearly 100 nations and 30 million engineers, it is important that WFEO and its leaders embed a culture of diversity and inclusion, where every member, male and female, from every region has a voice and can contribute to the organization. This is essential for us, for high performance, for strong governance, and importantly, for the sustainability, visibility, and relevance of the organization. The world needs more engineers to advance the UN Sustainable Development Goals, but we need a paradigm shift to change the way we work as engineers and develop solutions so that we get better outcomes for the benefit of all. And for this, we need more engineers, including women engineers with the right skills to solve the pressing problems that we now face, such as the pandemic and its aftermath, climate change, reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, renewable energy sources, resilient infrastructure, sustainable cities, and ensuring clean water and sanitation for all. So there is a great deal to be done and enough work for us all, male and female. Once again, I congratulate all the winners who have been recognized today. You have all demonstrated that women can be leading engineers, and I'm sure that this award will ensure that you will be well recognized in your countries and regions for your contributions. Very well done and congratulations. Thank you.
Well, now I think that we can reach the end of this ceremony. And I will end as I have started, wishing you a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Okay, see you.
Bye-bye. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Congratulations.